Hi, you're watching India Today Global with me, Ishita Mitra. It is Thursday afternoon in the Indian capital. Let's take a look at what's making news around the globe. Starting with the United States, addressing the nation for the first time after pulling out of the presidential race, Joe Biden said he exited the race because of his concerns about the future of America. Biden remarked he reveres his office, but he loves his country more. He also added that the best way to unite the country right now is to pass the torch to a younger generation. This comes after he threw his support behind his Vice President Kamala Harris as Democratic Party's nominee, and now she is most likely to challenge Donald Trump in the upcoming elections. Continuing with the United States, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the US Congress and tried to sketch a vague outline of a plan for a de-radicalized post-war Gaza. Now, what that would mean, only Netanyahu can tell. He further dismissed criticism of Israel's action against Hamas in Gaza so far. His address received mixed reaction in the House, cheers and standing ovation from Republicans, more subdued response from Democrats, and all this while anti-Israel protests took place outside the building. Another major news involving US, the American military has said that it intercepted 2 Russian and 2 Chinese military aircraft operating in Alaska's Air Defense Identification Zone. Although they stayed in the international airspace and did not enter America or Canada's sovereign airspace, Washington said the aircraft were not seen as a threat and that it would continue to monitor competitor activity near North America. Moving to battleground in the Israel-Hamas war now, the Israeli military has announced that it has recovered the bodies of 4 Israeli captives, 2 civilians and 2 soldiers. Now, this was during an operation in the city of Khan Yunis in southern Israel. All 4 were killed during the Hamas-led October 7 attacks on southern Israel, and their bodies were taken to Gaza. It is now estimated that 112 out of the total 251 captives taken during the attack still remain in Gaza. Meanwhile, the death toll in the Gaza Strip has crossed the 39,145 mark, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Another news involving Israel, Australia has now decided to impose financial sanctions and travel bans against 7 Israeli citizens and crew in West Bank. This is due to their alleged involvement in settler violence. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that his government imposed the sanctions because it is the right thing to do. He further added that settlements in the West Bank impede a 2-state solution and were illegal under the international law. Coming to the developments in the Russia-Ukraine war, Russian side claimed attacking the Ukraine's arms depot, radars and other military targets, while the Kyiv side alleges engaging Russian forces nearly 100 times as the situation on the front line remains tense. Seems like the remark that modern wars are not fought to be won holds true for this one. Coming to India now, United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary David Lammy, who is in New Delhi, has announced a new UK-India Technology Security Initiative. Now, this initiative was agreed upon by the National Security Advisors to expand collaboration in critical and emerging technologies across different sectors. During the bilateral meet between Lammy and his Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar, both also agreed to deepen partnership on climate change. Amidst tensions in the South China Sea, Taiwan continued with the live fire drills. Although this year the annual Hang Tuong exercise have been severely curtailed by the impact of Typhoon Gaimi, live fire drills have been taking place on Taiwan's outlying islands. This includes Kinmen, Matsu and Penghu, which sit nestled to the Chinese coast. Now, case in point, these areas were the scene of on and off clashes during the height of Cold War. Meanwhile, North Korea has done it again. As it continues to drop trash balloons in South Korea has now said that these trash balloons are timed to burst and may cause fire. This comes a day after one such balloon is said to have caused fire on a residential building. Flights at Seoul's Gimpo airport were also suspended due to suspected balloons in the vicinity. South Korea's military has said that North Korea sent over 500 balloons laden with trash into its airspace in recent days. The 57th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meet kicked off with Laos Foreign Minister delivering the opening remarks today. This time, the theme of the meeting is enhancing connectivity and resilience. The meeting of foreign ministers will be followed by 2 summits in Laos on Saturday. ASEAN's ministers are set to discuss so far the fruitless efforts that they have been making to end the crippling conflict that has morphed into a civil war in Myanmar. The United Nations says the conflict has displaced over 2.6 million people. And lastly, final preparations are underway as the French capital prepares to host the 2024 Summer Olympics and Paralympic Games. Streets and bridges are closed, large areas are inaccessible, and security is tight as the city gears up for an unprecedented opening ceremony on Friday. It would include a 6 kilometers floating procession down the River Seine. That's it for today. Thank you for watching our top stories. Stay tuned to India Today Global for more such updates.